right, let's get this party started. Good morning, good morning, good morning. You know why I'm here, guys. Thank you for checking out another one of my intraday / day trade analysis. It's your boy ABK. Let's go ahead and get this party started, right? So DXY, just piggybacking off of what I was mentioning on Sunday. DXY, as long as it was holding below the structure, I do still think that we can get a possible another push to the downside on the DXY. I'm still looking at this possible fib scenario right here, that if you go on onto the 4-hour time frame, that if you put, even for right here, 91.165 is definitely an area of interest for me. But just based off of this bullish move where price just went, it made a higher high, it made a higher low, then another higher high. I kind of want to see if price is gonna come back to like 90.517 realistically. I still want to kind of see that happen. I'm not sure if, hold on, let me see, because I might have, yes, right there. So let me hide this real quick. So right here in this 90.498 area is somewhere that I'm still looking as a possibility to get into a buy, right? I still have this alert set at 90.774, but I still want to really kind of see overall price head down to like 90.500 and then make higher highs. Because I do know that there's going to be retail traders that are going to be looking to be buying at this area. A lot of retail traders will be buying there, most likely. And so with that sell to the downside, then a push up, that would be what the banks are looking for. So that's really what I'm looking at for DXY. Nothing's really changed for me. I'm still looking more to the downside, especially since price was holding at this zone right here, like not zone, at this resistance, especially since price has been just consolidating here and is showing bearish price action on the lower time frames. Like that's more of a reason why I'm like, I still think this can go lower. So again, I still have my alert set for a price down over here, and so we'll see what that is. But in the meantime, let's go over to, first of all, let's go over to arbitrage and see what arbitrage has in store for us right now. So daily time frame, that was on the weekly time frame that I was waiting for that bullish move to the upside, so that didn't happen. 4-hour time frame though, it looks like the 4-hour, like I mentioned from last week, is still playing out. It still looks like it's holding up at this RSI line. So yes, I do still expect price to drop from right here. So that is still another my bearish sentiment is still very much still holding right now. Until price does really break through this RSI line, I'm still very much bearish on the DXY. 1-hour time frame, it looks like it's starting to show that it wants to sell. It's crossed over through the RSI line, so maybe a small retest and then a drop is what I'll be looking for right now. So that's what the DXY. I really do enjoy and like the sell opportunity that is with us right now, right? 15-minute looks sloppy, but not really trading off of the 15-minute. So 4-hour, like I mentioned, I expect this to fall still. Level Pro and Arbitrage Z haven't confirmed that yet, so we just gotta be careful. But overall, I do like this sell overall. So let's go over to EURUSD. Okay. EURUSD, if you're still in this trade from last week, go ahead and still hold on to it. I still do like it, because I still do same thing. I want 1.20340 or that 1.20300 area to get hit before I look to start selling EURUSD, you know? That's what I want to see personally. Go ahead and pull out the, not the volume, the point of control. Point of control has already been passed. So that's something that you really want to watch out for. But I do like 4-hour time frame. Man, even on a 4-hour time frame, you have price coming all the way up over here. So that's just the point of control, though. It's not something that I use as a huge indicator. I just like to see where the point of control is at, where the banks are trying to sit at, and they're looking for price to head over to before they make their ultimate moves. But yeah, I still want to see this. I still want to see this push to the upside and then the drop. Like, nothing's really changed on me personally with EURUSD. So let's go on over to see what. Let me just see real quick. Hold on. 1-hour time frame. Just had a whole bunch of consolidation yesterday. These are type of Sundays that I like when I don't trade, because it's just a whole bunch of noise. So that's good. Yeah, guys, I'm still bullish on it. I don't really have any setup on from technical analysis wise. I mean, if you want, you can be like, oh, well, price broke through this trend line, so hey. Or the price is looking to break through this trend line, so hey, maybe look to enter at the break and retest of this, possibly technical analysis wise. But I don't have anything on this except for that price was holding at this. Same thing as with the DXY. Price was just holding at this support, and now it's just going on to make higher highs, probably on a lower time frame, that is. But 1.20341, watching for that area to get hit for a possible sell. So let's go on over to arbitrage, and just like I mentioned, guys, break, retest, continuation to the upside. I got into a buy on EURUSD yesterday down over here. That's just because I saw that happening. I'm like, okay, let me get into a buy. I didn't call it out for anybody else. Unfortunately, I was just really busy yesterday, and I just like, okay, I just can get in, and I can't necessarily like use the time to send that out. So that was my fault personally. But yeah, this is for me personally. I'm not gonna count this for any weekly count or anything like that for the channel, but I do expect EURUSD to go bullish. So what you can possibly do is look to get into a buy stop at 1.9673, or you can still get in right now. Like, I'm only like 20 something pips up realistically. Let me see. Okay, I'm only 30 pips up. Like, you could still get in this buy position. I still like the buy. It's still very much appetizing to me. So let's see what it does. Let's go on over to GPBUSD. Okay. So EG must be doing its thing. So GU overall. Let me see what the daily candle looks like first of all. Nah, it doesn't look that crazy looking. GU overall is still bullish. Like, it's still in bullish territory, and like I mentioned last week, until it breaks like this 1.35729 area down here, I still have to be bullish on it. Although on the 4-hour time frame over here, it looks like it's making a possible W, which or double bottom, if you will. But I'm not really too crazy over how it looks necessarily right now, especially when I'm like low-key bullish, or I low-key want to change my bias to bullish on EURGBP. Let me see. No, I wouldn't trade this, to be quite frank. Yeah, GU, personally speaking, I still think that this can go bullish. I still have the same sentiment as before that retest this, even coming down to 71%. That might be low-key fire. Grab some liquidity right here, because all I see is liquidity down over here, and then pop to the upside. I still see that as a possibility happening to make higher highs. Then grab this liquidity, then price possibly dropping. But until then, GU is extremely bullish. I don't want to go against the trend, therefore I'm not going to buy. I mean, I'm not gonna sell it. Let's go over to arbitrage. 4-hour time frame is calling for a sell, but this is not my type of, like, the way when the bands look like this, I don't get into it. I'm very picky when it comes to my entries. So that I'm not really necessarily looking at. I'm looking forward to. Daily time frame, it's still holding. Well, it looks like it might be breaking this RSI line on the daily. So this is something I can get behind. But it all just depends on how this candle closes on the daily time frame. If I would start switching to sellers like having sells in my mind, you know. And the 1 hour time frame is starting to set up for a buy. Maybe not so much like setting up for a buy, but it's starting to look like it might start switching. So I'm gonna really wait. 15 minutes is about to call for the buy, but I don't necessarily care for the 15-minute time frame. But if you do want to, and for those arbitrage traders, watch out for the break, retest, continuation to the upside as per usual. And that's what I would be looking for personally on GPBUSD. But I'm not gonna get into this 15-minute. I'd rather wait for the 1 hour, personally speaking. So let's see how that plays out. I'm gonna be watching GU. Alright, so I'm over to AUDUSD. AUDUSD, same thing. I still have this going bullish. I haven't really changed that sentiment in me personally. And it's the same thing as with GPUSD. It's so bullish that it's like, okay, do you really want to like try to sell it when it's at these highs? And obviously we could say that, okay, well, maybe price AUDUSD is making a head and shoulders pattern where, let me see, right here. Let me not use this. Fine. Where you have, this is the left shoulder, then you have the head, then you have the right shoulder right here. I know that doesn't look the greatest, but that's what I had right there. So like, you could definitely say that, okay, this might be looking like it's making a head and shoulders, but personally speaking, all I see is just still bullish. There's no price action that's really telling me that, oh, price is gonna start dropping. Only thing I'd really say that if I would start to be like, okay, price might start returning around, is if it breaks this structure level at like 0.75834 or 0.75132, you know? That's what I would say personally will make me start being bearish on AUDUSD. But until then, this is still pretty bullish to me. And it's just been consolidating. It hasn't been really doing any action. So, you know, you could still be in the buy. Like, there's nothing wrong with it, like, at all. I would have probably tried to get in when price made this low wick or off of this candle right here. I would have personally tried to get in that, but you know, 61% fib is still here, but that's for like swings and stuff like that. So let's go over to arbitrage real quick and see what we have. But overall, let me put this back out. This buy from right there, I still like it very much so. Like, this is still a valid buy. You can still get in. You're just not gonna have how many pips that I have. The 30 pips, same thing as EURUSD. You can get in. It's just not gonna be at your best pricing personally, right? So let's go over to arbitrage real quick. And let's see. So 1 hour time frame is calling for sells, and it looks like it might be a break and retest to the downside, but I'm not necessarily here for it. And this 4 hour time frame, I don't like the way how the bands are, so I'm gonna just say that you might as well just stay in the buy, personally speaking, especially with me having bias on EURUSD and GPUSD that they're gonna buy as well. I just think that's gonna buy, you know. And look, even the daily time frame retest, it's on this RSI line, it's holding right here. Now, the price could definitely still drop under it, but like I said, I'm just really bullish on it. So that's what I'm gonna stick with. That's what I'm gonna really say that my sentiment is on AUDUSD. Now, if I see price rejecting this for like the next 2 or 3 hours and then dropping, then I'm gonna be like, okay, maybe not. Maybe I won't be selling this. But let's see what price does in the next few hours, right? Okay, let's go on over to GBPAUD. Before I continue, hold on. Let me do something real quick. Alright. GBPAUD, still in my sells. Still looking profitable. Was making lower lows on a lower time frame. I'm happy about that. Remember how I mentioned that up here was a stop hunt? Yeah. So, price is still dropping down and is still in this higher time frame wedge. I really want to see this break out to the downside to continue on to its path to 611, right? So nothing's really changed in my mind. Nothing's really showing me change on GA other than, yeah, keep selling it. Currently up about 147 pips, not bad at all. And so, yeah, still playing this out. It is at a small support right now. So you want to watch out for that, but it's nothing too crazy for me personally to be like, okay, you better watch out type of thing. It's just a whole lot of consolidation on the daily time frame, but these wicks are just showing me that price wants to keep dropping lower and lower. So yeah, GA, I am still very much bearish on it, right? Let me go on to arbitrage, see what RB has. 1 hour time frame, called for the sell, still still bearish on the 1 hour. 4 hour time frame, holding under the lower danger zone. So I can still expect this to keep falling. This was a perfect break retest continuation to the downside on the 4 hour. Now, price on the daily, it's been holding under this upper danger zone. I'm still expecting it for a sell to play out. And if price closes under this today, then yeah, we might have another position for another swing trade. So, gonna wait and see what GA has in store for me. Like, I love what it's already been doing, but it's been just kind of choppy. So, just gonna let it do its thing. But I definitely want to see break, retest, continuation to the downside. If that's what price is gonna really do, you know? If price is really gonna drop, then that's what I would want to see. And I still see this weekly possibility to play out, but the way how the candle is forming right now, and from last week's candle, that doesn't look like it's gonna happen. So there's that. What am I? Okay, this is the 1 hour time frame. Sorry. So there's that on GA. So I'm bearish on GA. So that's another good thing for my AUD buys or my AUD bias, AUDUSD bias, because usually when I'm buying GA, I want to be selling AUDUSD and vice versa, right? So hold on, let me just switch this over real quick. Maybe it'll let me do it. There we go. All right. So that was GBPAUD. Going over to EURAUD. EURAUD stop loss got hit, unfortunately. Too tight of a stop loss. Got hit the other day, actually. I'd even pay attention to this trade, to be quite honest with you. But that is something that I should have expected, because as I mentioned, with this fib that I drew, this was the possible buy zone right here. So that's the reason why I even had this tighter stop loss. But the fact that price is just throwing this wick up here, I'm still bearish on EURAUD. I'm probably not going to trade this though, because I do see the possible buy playing out right here. But the mere fact that I see this wick. If this didn't look like this off of the trend line that I drew on the weekly time frame, then I would probably say, okay, let me still look for buys here. But I kind of can't right now. I would have to wait a little bit to see what I would do if I was trying to buy this. But personally, I'm not liking the buys. I would rather sell it. So You know, I would. Nah, I'm not gonna get in. I'm not gonna get into the sell. I'd rather wait. Although, like I said, with that wick popping up right there, I see price definitely dropping. Now, if you were looking for sells, what I would say for you to do is sell right now and put yourself just slightly above this wick, 40 pip stop loss, and then take this as low as you can, because I do think that this is gonna drop, honestly. So you're risking 40 pips for 183. I might get into this personally, because I just really like that stop hunt that price made to the upside, and the risk to reward is amazing. Yeah, I'm gonna get in this. I'm gonna get into this trade, so I'm gonna risk about like 0.7 or 0.8 of my account trying to sell that. So we'll see what happens. Let me go over to arbitrage. Yes, I do see this 1 hour time frame, but again, that wick, man, this wick is telling me that price is gonna drop. 4 hour time frame, ooh, it's about to call for a buy though. It's not fully confirmed yet. Oh, the level pro is all the way up there, and yeah, I don't care for the buys, but I see it. If I take the L, then I take the L. It is what it is, right? But I definitely do like the sells that are going to happen. So I'm going to go ahead and sell EA despite what arbitrage is telling me. So I'm going to actually lower my risk, since the way how things are looking, it's looking like this might go bullish. So instead of risking 0.8% of my account, I'm going to risk 0.5%. And if these lows get broken, then I'll add another entry. But personally, I like my sell. I like the sell opportunity. So that's over for EA. Gonna go ahead and place that there. EURGBP. So this son of a gun really still went on and went bullish, right? So if I would have got in, I would be in profits right now. But still very bearish to me. It's still very bearish to me, but it is starting to look like it could possibly turn around. It is on my swing like buy zone, or not swing. It's more like a position. Still in my buy zone for the overall buy. So I'm liking what I'm seeing, but again, it's just too bearish for me, and it hasn't broken much any real structures for me to be like, okay, I'm gonna go ahead and get into buy. So I'm not there yet, not there quite yet. But the way how price action is showing, it looks like it's a very good possibility in the future. Oh wow, 4 hour time frame would have been a nice buy, but I wasn't paying attention to that. So it is what it is. I do like how price is rejecting off of this upper danger zone. But again, it's like right now, price is just doing its thing, it's going through the motions. I want to see really the daily time frame give me a buy before I start switching my bias on EURGBP. Personally speaking, this is what I'm going to wait for, rather than just getting right here. As much as I would have liked to have gotten in right here, I would have been in drawdown. I would have been in like 40 or 50 pip drawdown for about 10 days, something like that, and I wouldn't like that. So I'm gonna hold it. Maybe if price comes back down here and I see some rejections, then maybe I'll start looking for buys. Like, let me go into the 15-minute time frame and show what I mean. So if price did some shit like this, where it pushed up and now it comes back to the downside at 0.85793, and it started showing rejections, then yes, I would probably most likely get into a buy. So I'm gonna actually set an alert right here on the 61%, because I would even mind getting into a 61% fib trade, to be quite honest with you. So let's see what happens on EG, but the buy possibility is definitely looking pretty clean. Gonna wait and see what happens though. So let's go on over to EURNZD. EURNZD is just playing games, man. It's just really playing games. Like I thought when it was breaking through this, that it was gonna drop, but it obviously hasn't. And you know, it's kind of the same thing with with GA. It's just been really consolidating right here. I still like the sell overall, but it's just been consolidating, and it hit this zone. I think it's probably it might come back up here possibly, or maybe it just rejects off of this 61.8 fib on the higher time frames and then drops. So I still see this dropping until this structure gets broken at least. So like I still feel the same way about EN, you know. Right here, same thing. Until this really breaks out, I won't be anything but bearish on EURNZD. I do see the 4-hour time frame possibly going for a buy, but again, it has to break out through all this for me to believe that. And the way how it just rejected off of this upper danger zone, if it closes like this, then I expect this to keep falling. You know, 1-hour time frame, pretty sure it called for yeah. I don't even like this buy, and same thing, it's holding at this upper danger zone. If it holds, I expect it to fall as well. So I'm not really looking. I don't really want to trade EURNZD either though, because like it's just I don't know. I just personally don't care for it, but I think it's gonna drop. I do like this 4-hour candle that's printing out. So I do think that's gonna drop. And hey, even if you didn't want to get in, you could do something like this. Just put your stop loss up there, and then move that, because if price does end up pushing to the upside, then you might want to wait and see what it does. Like it might even give you do a stop hunt before dropping. So this is a possibility. I'm not going to get into this trade, but I still do like this EURNZD sell overall. Okay, that's for EURNZD. And again, I'm not getting into this, but I do like the sell opportunity. Okay, GBPJPY made the double top and dropped. I still think that this is gonna go bullish. Actually, let me get rid of this. Wow, so it didn't change. Personally, I might have missed an entry on this, to be quite honest with you. Let me get rid of all that, because I don't think it's gonna happen anymore. And if you're still in the buy, I will still hold it. But a possibility of this is literally the price just rejected off of the 71% fib, and now it's going to go bullish, make a higher high possibly. I would say probably just to come up to these previous highs and then look for sells. But I wouldn't look for sells when price is just making higher highs either. So yeah, this could be a possible play that we just missed by a couple hours. By 2 hours, like at 4 o'clock. That would have been actually really good. With that 1 hour, let me see what that volume looks like on this candle. And not the highest volume. Like obviously there's higher volume during London session, but still, I still do think that GBPJPY is gonna either equal highs or make higher highs. Sorry. So yeah, definitely still think that GJ could go make higher highs, but you know, it's already messed my trade setup, so I can't necessarily get in. But yeah, that's where I think it's gonna go right now. GBPJPY on 15-minute time frame, it hasn't called for the buy yet, so that's a good look. Same thing with the 1 hour time frame, still far away for the buy actually. 4 hour time frame. Ooh, this might be setting up for a sell possibly. I'll be watching out for this. Now, I don't want it to be something like where it happens right here and then it just drops and then pops back up. So, but we'll see what happens with this. So this could be a possible sell. I'm going to go ahead and set the alert on arbitrage. Oh, that's support resistance. And I'm going to go ahead and have it for short. Once per bar close, create. If I get that alert, then I'll be watching for the retest and then possible sell on GBPJPY. So, I like the sell personally though. Overall, I like this making higher highs because it is really bullish. But the way how this 4 hour, this candlesticks are looking, bearish, retest, pullback, retest, bearish. This could be same thing, pull back up to like 151.450 and then drop. So we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens with GJ, but I'm waiting for the sell possibility right now, to be quite honest. Alright, USD Mexican. As I mentioned, I was really looking for price to drop lower, and it looks like that's exactly what it's about to do. Unfortunately, not unfortunately, I had mentioned I didn't like it. The price did end up coming down to 78.6 right here, pushed up. I didn't care for the buy though, because I was really looking for price to come down to like 20.33213. I still want that pricing for me to get into my long buys. Well, not long buys, but like long-term buys on USD Mexican. So we're like, yep, right here. So I'm gonna go ahead and set up that alert. And it's basically like I don't think I'm gonna get into anything on arbitrage right now, because even if I did sell, it'd only be down here. So I'm not gonna really try to sell it. I'd rather just wait for the alert to get by and then drop down to over here. So go over to arbitrage anyways to see what it did. I do remember giving out this possible buy opportunity, but apparently that hit stop loss. I think it was from this, right? Yeah, probably. Let me see. Yeah, probably that was what it was, but like I said, that was something that it wasn't really too crazy for me to get into at the time. And so, yeah, I expect this to make lower lows. If it busts down any lower, then yeah, lower lows is what I'm expecting on the smaller time frame, and I want price to come to 20.38590 for the buy opportunity, possibly. So, gonna be watching over for that. Gonna be watching that on USD Mexican. Gold. Haha. Gold be playing games, man. What I'm really looking at for gold, like I said, is just for it to come to 1754. I am still in my sell for the long-term sell, yes, but 1754 is really where I'm looking at gold to come to and then drop down. So nothing's really changed on me with gold, and if it could really hold at this support right here, at this resistance, it came down to this support a little bit, retested it twice before pushing a little higher. But yeah, I want to see price go up to 1762, 1775, and then a drop. There's nothing's really changed for me on that front. 4 hour time frame, I would have been looking to take profits right here at where I've taken previous profits before, so that's cool. Daily time frame still has room to go up, but I'm not trying to trade that either. So yeah, I'm really being patient on gold as well. I'm not trying to rush into the buy or into the sell. What I would say, if you want to get into the buy on gold, is really to wait for this breakout. I would probably set like a buy stop right above these highs, like right there. Have my stop loss a little something like this, then take price up to there. That's all I would personally really do on gold. Even something like this, like probably, but again, it's not my style, or it's not what I would really want to get into. I'm bearish on this, so just gonna wait and see what happens. Price has been really choppy, so if you were trading this, you might have had a headache yesterday. So yeah, that's just on gold for me personally. I don't really see anything on it other than it coming back up to 1762 or 1775, and then I'll be looking for sells. So that's for that. SPX 500. So this buy stop has been placed. It's in small profits. I expect it to make higher highs. as it's already been doing. It just made a higher high. It just made an all-time high. So I expect for this to keep going. You know, my target is 41.50, so I'm gonna keep it at that. And under here, it's just where my stop loss is at 59 points, or 60 points, I should say. 60 points for 186 points. So let's see how that plays out. I like the opportunity. Let's go over to Dow Jones. Same thing. It made a higher high. It's basically reached the target that I was looking for. NAS 100. If you're still in this trade, basically at this point, just move your stop loss to break even. Like, it's basically 1-to-1 territory. It's just being stubborn at this point. So that's really it for the indices as well. Like, I just really still have them going bullish. I think that NAS is gonna go and make higher highs shortly. It's gonna follow S&P and Dow Jones. So let's go over to crypto. Now, like I mentioned yesterday, I made the mistake on Bitcoin. Well, first of all, I love seeing that daily candle. Do you guys see this daily candle? That's a possible reversal right there. I love seeing that. But anyways, I made a mistake on Bitcoin, and I didn't draw out the fibs correctly. I had drawn them from this low to this high, rather than drawing it from right here to that high. Now, it could still definitely come and hit that 53,000 area and hit that as a stop loss to grab some liquidity at 52,000. 52,000 is somewhere where I'm really I'm gonna set a buy limit here, regardless of the trade that I'm not in Bitcoin right now. I'm in Ethereum, Litecoin, and Ripple. But 52,000, if price does end up hitting 52,000, that'd be an area where I'd be like, okay, I'm looking for buys here, low-key. So actually, let me move this down to there. I can see this being a possible place where Bitcoin could come and just, yeah, that's perfect. I can see that as a possible place where Bitcoin could come and just, you know, take people's liquidity and stuff like that. Oh, I'm just going to continue on here. Or here, let me not be mean. For those that want to hop back on, they totally can. Share. Record. Alright, so yeah. So Bitcoin, I still do really think that it can go bullish. Right now might be a good time to get into a buy. Right there. My stop loss would be... And this is the reason why I don't want to necessarily buy either, because even if I buy and my stop loss gets hit, I'm going to probably have a buy limit. I'm not going to set a buy limit here, but I'm saying that that's where I'll be expecting to look for price to dump down to possibly go bullish. So I still do like this buy. Patience is key. That's why I waited. I didn't get in any really too quickly. So yeah, I like this buy on Bitcoin. Still think that it's gonna go and make higher highs. So get in that. You know, Ripple. Whew, man, Ripple went to work. So Ripple, I actually got in at this support on Ripple. I set my stop loss to break even too fast, and I got stopped on it, and price pushed up. But based off of this and what I see off of this move right here, I'm just going to the 1 hour time frame, might as well. If price comes back down, to like 45,516, I'll add another entry for another buy, possibly, and then take it to make higher highs over at 55 cents or 57 cents. I like that. I like that bullish move that I made yesterday. It's really makes me want to get in. So this is what I'm going to be looking at for Ripple. Getting it at 45,537 and take profit at 55,750, or maybe even hold it for a long-term position. You know, so looking at that for Ripple. Litecoin, I'm still in this. like I mentioned, I had moved my stop loss to 190. Or you could put it at 189.8189. That actually might be a better entry. And then I also got in a second entry right here where price is currently at. So this is what I'm in. I'm actually risking 2% total of my account on both of these trades, like 1% on this one, 1% on another one. And so yeah, I'm still holding on, and my stop loss is at 189 or 190, whatever one that you want it to be at. And so I'm just taking that trade and seeing what Litecoin gives me. I still do believe that these can go bullish. It's just, you know, it's doing its thing. And Ethereum, same thing. I'm still at my entry. I'm still at my entry for this buy limit. Price is right at my entry. So go ahead and hop in. It's the same entry as yesterday, and I'm taking it up to 2,420 because I do believe that Ethereum is going to go bullish. So with that being said, is there any other questions, any comments, any concerns anybody has? If not, then I am more than happy to hop off. Nothing? Alright guys, well thank you for hopping onto my analysis. I do appreciate it. And for those who are catching the playback, if you did enjoy this video, please give it a like and don't forget to subscribe to my channel on YouTube for more of my analysis. And let's make some money, y'all. I'll see you guys in the chats. Later.